Hi everyone, it's Aga from MiyukiCrystalBeads.com and I'm here with another fun and easy beading tutorial for you. Before I get started, just a quick reminder to check out the rest of our channel, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you always know when we're posting new content. What I'll be showing you today is how to make this lovely Quarter Tila ring. It's super easy, super quick, and you're gonna enjoy it very much, I think. This is going to be a longer version of a tutorial that we already posted on our TikTok and Instagram, but some of you have written to us if we could do it also on YouTube with full spoken instructions. So here it is. The only supplies you're going to need to make this lovely rich sea witch ring are quarter tilas. Here I have those lovely quarter tilas in this transparent AB matte teal color, and I think they're really nice. And also 11 TOHO Demi Rounds. That's all when it comes to the beads. You're also going to need some thread. Here I have Fireline 6LB in the color Crystal. You can use any thread that you want. If you use a nylon thread such as Nymo or One-G, you're going to get a more like flexible and kind of flowy and supple ring that's going to be like easier to manipulate, so to say. This one is more stiff because I also did it with Fireline, and I just prefer it this way, so that's what I'm going to use. You're also going to need a needle. Here I have a size 10, I think, and that's the best for 6LB because it's the easiest to thread, and some scissors to cut off the thread after you're done. Okay, that's it. Let's start. Okay, I'm going to start with threading my needle, and remember, if you can't get your thread to go through your needle, flatten the end of it with flat nose pliers. Here I already flattened the end of my thread, so it went through the needle quite easily. And you're not going to need much thread, but just make sure it's at least like 5 or 6 times the length around your finger, or maybe half a wingspan if you prefer it that way. I'm not going to cut off my thread just yet. If you prefer to cut off your thread and just work with a piece of it, you might want to use a bead stopper or a stopper bead so that the beads don't fall off your thread. I don't need to do that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start picking up interchangeably quarter tilas and demi rounds. So this is what I'm going to do until I've reached the full circumference, so to speak, of my finger and the length that I want my ring to be. Alright, I think in my case this much will be enough. I'm just making sure that this is enough to go around my finger. And if you're not sure, just add one more pair of beads and make sure that you're ending with a different bead than you started. So I started with a quarter tila, so I'm ending with demi round. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to slide these beads down my thread. And what I'm gonna do, this is like where I ended. I'm gonna go right around and go through all of these beads, the same hole, all over again, so that all of these have 2 threads inside them. And everything is a little bit more sturdy. Okay, I'm through all of these beads for a second time. Now make sure that you didn't miss accidentally any of the beads, because let me show you what it looks like when you do miss a bead. You can see the thread kind of connecting the demi rounds here. It's pretty easy to hide. You just put it on the bottom of your finger. But, you know, if you're a perfectionist, you don't like these things. So just make sure that all of the beads are covered. And what I'm going to do now, as you can see, these two threads meet in here. So this is where I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm just taking this thread with the needle on it and putting it through in a regular knot. So this is one knot. And the second one is going to be surgeon's knot. So I'm just going again over like I was making a regular knot with that leading thread. But in fact, I will be wrapping it around 2 more times. So that was one. Now I'm going through with that thread for a second time. And a third time. This is a really strong knot. So it kind of goes around 3 times and you pull. And that's that. It's pretty sturdy. Okay. Now this is the thread that goes towards the spool. I'll just cut enough so that I'll be able to hide the tail in the beads after I finish. And this is my leading thread. And what I do is I go through a couple more beads in order to come out of a quarter tila. What I do now is I go right back through the other hole of the quarter tila, kind of turning back with my work. And what I do now is I pick up an individual quarter tila and just go through the second hole of the next one, so the free hole of the next quarter tila. So I'm just adding quarter tilas in between each pair of the quarter tilas, like that. And I'm just going to do it all around. Alright, I'm putting in the last quarter tila this row, and I'm gonna go through that first one that I added before. And where you're going to do now is the exact same thing as before. I'm going back through that second hole of this quarter tila. What you can do now is do the final row of the ring, just like here. So you can add 1 demi round in between each of these quarter tilas, or you can make this ring as many rows as you want, and you can just add a single quarter tila in between each of these quarter tilas, which is going to be making this ring wider, which is going to be quite nice, I think. But for this one, I'm going to be adding demi rounds in between each of these quarter tilas. Right now, that's the last demi round that I'm adding. And I'm going to, you might have guessed it, go through all of this last row again to make it more sturdy and more tight together. And in case you're not sure where is that you should stop, if you look closely, there's that bead that has a thread in between the holes from where I was going back. So this is the last bead that I'm going to be going through. And this is where you tie your knot. I'm simply just going to go under this thread over here, make a little loop, go through that loop, tie that down, pull that down, make another loop, go through that one, pull this one down, pull that one down, and that's my knot. I'm going to go through several more beads to hide the tail. You can also make multiple knots just to make sure that this won't fall apart, but this one should be absolutely enough. So I can cut off this end. And since we already have a knot on this side, I just need to hide the tail. So I look at where it's coming out of. I'm trying to go the opposite direction, just several beads. And that's it. My ring is ready. And that's it for this tutorial. All of the materials that I've shown you today you can find at eurekaCrystalBeads.com. I hope you have lots of fun making these cute little Quarter Tila rings. See you on our Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!